Mining, knowing what you're jumping into. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and is lining up something nice for the new year. So today I just wanted to have a quick chat about people's expectations getting into mining and also about the results that some people can have trying to get into mining. So on a Facebook post last week, a question got asked about a particular company and a particular mine site, and this was the feedback from someone that had been on that particular mine site as a new starter. Now, when I read this isn't having a go at anybody. This is more just to illustrate that this could be a common experience on mine sites, unfortunately, due to the nature of what's going on at the moment with a lot of people having to be trained up in entry-level roles, especially on Hardrock Underground mine sites. So there is going to be some adult language in this, kids. While it's not a rant, there will be some swearing, so just be prepared for that as well. So let's read it out. So worst experience in my whole life, mate, as an ex-entry-level truckie. After spending more than 20 years as a correction officer dealing with murderers, rapists, pedophiles, etc., I thought nothing could faze me. Fly into the mine site and have entry-level people only in the job for 3 or 6 months at most, actually be your trainer whilst giving you absolute shit thinking they're better than everybody else. Now, unfortunately, this is a common occurrence. A lot of people that make it in those first 6 months, because they've survived, they really do have that attitude that their shit doesn't stink sometimes, but never be feared, that attitude quickly gets knocked out of them. And if anybody stays in the industry any longer than 2 years, most people realise at that point that it was, while they probably had a real hard go, it was more good luck than good management that got them through that first 6 months on site. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to write the training all those years ago, is because we got sick of watching shit like this happen over and over again. And this could quite easily be describing any hard rock underground mine site in Australia at any point in time. Generally, it only takes 3 months for a place to go to shit, but it also only takes 3 months if you know what you're doing to lift the standards. How does a place go to shit? Some people at the top or people in critical jobs move on, and the people that step into those roles haven't got enough experience to step up to the mark straight away. So things can go badly quite quickly. That's where it comes back to the bosses, that if you think you're going to make an impact on the boss by having a complaint as a new starter, you're not. It's just because they run through so many people. To them, you're just another new starter that hasn't been able to cut it, that's bitching about it. While a lot of people, and most people, have got valid complaints about the way what they've been exposed to and how the system has treated them. But, it is what it is. They spend, millions of dollars on trying to train people successfully, and when you go in green, it instantly becomes that sink or swim training, and it exposes you up to, if you get trained by somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't have a lot of experience, then you're sort of left to your own devices. And I just want to go back to the blog that I wrote a couple of weeks ago, where we got a feedback from someone that got in and has made it past that 6 month mark. He actually says in his email there that after he did a week of training in truck driving and he got his ticket, within about 3 weeks they were asking him to train new people. That's not unusual. It is what it is. Anybody with any real experience at the moment is out there doing the job, not training people, so they move on pretty quickly. And as this post goes on to say, the bosses didn't really give a flying fuck, as they call the next entry-level person waiting in the talent pool, go and do something else. And, that is a fair assessment of the situation that they found themselves in. And a lot of people get into mining thinking, oh yeah, they'll train me on site. But, when they do train you on site, you're opened up to their training system, and that's what their training system is on a lot of sites in Australia. And that's one of the reasons why we did the training back in the day. So if you do get into this situation, you can swim for yourself because you've already learnt a lot of the information. And I'm just going to use the truck course as an example. I've logged into the training, the underground training, as mining coach, and we're just going to go down and have a look at truck operation. And the things that are in it, we're just going to have a quick look at. We'll expand that one out, and then we'll expand driving up and down the decline out, and getting a load, and dumping the load, which is always very amusing saying that. And it goes through how to operate a truck. And the reason that this course has been put together is back in the day, a number of the Hardrock Underground trucks didn't have dicky seats in them, so they were single-seaters. So you had to come up with a training method where you could put a whole heap of knowledge into a person's head before they jump in the truck, drive it around on the surface for a little while, have a play with it, and then drive it down the hole. And when they drove it down the hole, they drove it down in first gear, very slowly at first, and then moved up from there. So this is everything that we would teach that person before we got them to jump in the truck. So it's got steering, focus points, positioning the truck, the retarder, turning the truck. It's a bit different with articulated trucks than the trucks that they drive on the surface. Operating the truck smoothly, and it's, driving down the decline, taking corners, turning down the decline, buckets in the truck, driving up the decline, rolling the roads, is loading the truck, loading bays, tips when loading, all the things that your buddy down the hole should be teaching you that if they don't know about, you'll already know about having done the course. And this is the sort of things that you need to know yourself just to make the most of the opportunity when you get there. So it also goes into how you should be dumping your load and all that sort of stuff. And again, that's very amusing when I say that. Now, if you want to have a look where these underground jobs are, they're just type underground into Seek and you'll see them all come up, and they're everywhere. Yeah, it's not a great experience this guy's had, but it's not a surprise either. Like I said, it doesn't take long for the mine site to turn to shit when a few key people leave, and the people that are stepping into the breach really aren't ready for it quite yet, or they're really not ready for it. You have a lot of mine sites like that that's got stuff like that going on at the moment. But also, having said that, it only takes 3 months to turn the whole fucking thing around as well, with a group of people that can make sure the crews are doing the right thing and just doing the basics correct. So when you're jumping into the mining industry, it just depends on what sort of mine site you're going on to the luck of the draw on how difficult it's going to be when you first get there. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be listening to this and looking at this thinking that, oh, well, fuck underground, if it's a huge turnover like that, I'll go and do a traineeship. Now, the problem with traineeships is that not only do they not pay any money, but also they're into jobs that aren't going to exist in a few years' time. And I always point back to this story that Australian Mining did not too long ago, it's only a couple of months ago now, and it's all about how Rio Tinto intends on going 80% of their haulage fleet autonomous. So if you're jumping onto one of these magical traineeships where you don't get paid a lot of money to go and do a job that's not going to exist in a couple of years' time, how long's your mining career actually going to be for? And, you really, with these traineeships too, there's thousands upon thousands of people apply for it, and, there's not that many jobs going. So you've got more luck of winning Powerball Lotto than you do getting a traineeship these days. And again, it's all about knowing where the boom in the actual work is and who's having to hire at the moment. And at the moment, it's Hardrock Underground that are screaming for people, and it's on the surface exploration. And both those areas of the industry are hard on new starters and have got significant turnover. But if you do the training and you know what you're getting yourself into, that's seriously ups your success rate. So with the training, out of all the people that have gotten jobs, 95% of them make it past that 6-month mark. That's why so many employers want to interview people that have done the training, so you can do the do-it-yourself, or we have the win-win package where they redo your resume and you do interview prep with win-win, as well as the online training. And we also have a Workready one that you can do, and you get a ticketed shift boss to help you prep for that one. So there's a number of different things that you can do. One of the big things, like I said, when you get the job is knowing what you're getting yourself into and having been prepared for that. And like I said, it's not a slight on any companies or anybody that's failed in mining. It's just, it is what it is. And if you know about it going in, it really does mitigate those circumstances. Knowing, where all the trouble's coming from and what's going on, that makes a huge difference to knowing how you can move forward and making a success of it all. So I hope that information helps and it makes sense. And we are in the middle of Snatch It season again. There's lots of jobs going around. Yeah, congratulations to Matt, who just picked up a job in Queensland as a truckie as well, which is a really good result. So yeah, if you want to have a crack at getting into the Hardrock Underground industry, then make sure you go in knowing how it all works, and you can use the do-it-yourself to do that. And it'll also let you see if you actually want to do mining, because it teaches you everything that you need to know, warts and all. So when you get there, there's no surprises. You already know the bad shit that's going to happen. So if you can share this video around and like and subscribe to the channel, that would be fucking awesome. And yeah, I hope everybody has a really good new year and gets the job that they want. Thanks.